26, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. If you'd all rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance, please.
Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight with grateful and humble hearts, asking for your wisdom, guidance, and blessing over the City Council meeting. Lord, grant us those elected leaders clarity of mind, unity of purpose, hearts committed to serving this community with integrity, fairness, and compassion. Help every discussion and decision made here tonight to promote peace, responsibility, and the well-being of our citizens. Father, we also ask your hand of protection over the brave men and women currently serving in the armed forces, both here at home and around the world. Watch over them in every place of danger. Strengthen their families during times of separation and bring them safely home. And Lord, as we've just concluded Memorial Day, let us pause to remember and honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our nation and our freedoms. Lord, may we never forget their courage, their service, and the price that was paid on our behalf. Comfort the families who continue to grieve their loss and help us live as people worthy of that sacrifice. We ask these things in your Son's precious name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge to the American flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
God bless Texas.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. Moving into agenda item number 2, this is our public comment section. Mr. Alexander.
Mr. Mayor, we don't have anyone here tonight signed up to speak.
Very well. At this time, we'll move into agenda item number 3. This is our city manager comment and council comments. Mr. Alexander.
Mr. Mayor, city council members, it's my pleasure to present to you Zachary King. He is our new director of community development. He started today. He's assured me he's coming back tomorrow. So we're excited about that. And we also have David Gonzalez here this evening. This is his last council meeting with all of us, and so we are wishing him well in retirement.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Council, at this time, the floor is open for any comments. If there are no comments, Mr. Gonzalez, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor to work with you, and we wish you the very best in your retirement. Mr. King, we welcome you to the team. It's exciting times for the city of Heath as we move forward. At this time, we'll move into agenda item number 4. This is our consent agenda. 4.A, action regarding the minutes of May 12th, 2026, regular meeting. I believe everyone's had time to review this, so the chair will open the floor to entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve the meeting minutes. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Councilman Myers. Motion was made by Councilman Dodson. All of those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, Council. At this time, we'll move into agenda item number 5. We have some public hearings. So 5.A, conduct a public hearing and act on an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Heath amending the City of Heath Master Thoroughfare Plan by map amendment only for the removal of a proposed arterial and a major collector roadways as currently depicted on the current Master Thoroughfare Plan. Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council members. And as you may recall, there was some discussion, deliberation regarding this area of the 740 area for the Master Thoroughfare Plan. After discussion and directive from the City Council, this was brought forward in order to take a look at and make a map amendment to the FM 740 and FM 550 alignments that you see here. These are characterized as 100-foot arterial roadway, which is the black dotted line that you see here from 740 over to 550, as well as the 80-foot red-lined portion that leads up to McDonald Road and Rabbit Ridge. This went before the Planning and Zoning Commission as well on May 5th. After discussion with the Planning and Zoning Commission, they are forwarding recommendation of approval for this map amendment. We did provide public notice as well on the city's website as required, and staff is following the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission as well for the amendment. And this obviously is a discretionary item for the city council as far as approval. With that, I'm available for any questions you may have.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. At this time, the chair has opened the floor for any questions of staff. If not, we will now move into our public hearing we will now open the public hearing at 6:35 for any residents that would like to speak for or against. Please feel free to take the lectern. Going once, twice. Very well. At 6:36, we will close our public hearing and then open the floor for further discussion. Council, obviously, we've been talking about our thoroughfare plan at length. We've talked about the county and the county's dedication of funds and allowing us to really isolate some of these FM roads that come through our city and really ways in which we can expand them so that way we can increase our quality of life. We've had a number of conversations with TxDOT. I would like to just tell you guys briefly, Mr. Alexander, you can step in. Conversations with TxDOT have been wonderful. In fact, very, very open, very transparent. We've had meetings with TxDOT. We've had meetings with the county and their representatives for Precinct 3, so Lauren Lichty, our county commissioner, as well as who the county uses as a third-party consultancy. And all of those meetings have been wonderful. I do want to put a few rumors to bed. There is no hostility or frustration with the city of Heath. So let that be clear, by any of those three different parties. The questions that were brought up in open forum where we talked about widening 740, and it's, there were some beliefs that maybe you can't do that. TxDOT said absolutely you can. Absolutely, that would be their understanding of the city's primary goal, but then two, that they would be giving some technical guidance if it were to take out anyone's homestead. And so everything that we talked about in the last meeting pretty much came true, and it's been concurred by multiple parties now. TxDOT is not looking to kill any roadway. So if we are to say, hey, we really just want to widen 740 as it sits, the question was asked, would you kill the deal? They specifically said, absolutely not. We would not do that. We asked the county that. The county said no. So I think we're all in great alignment, is that we've asked the county, hey, for them to allot these bond monies from Trip 21. And let's get going on schematics. It's a long roadway, right? We talked about that last time. It's a long roadway to even get to where you're even having some dialogue, right? And it's an even longer roadway before you even see any road getting done. In fact, it was reminded to me that roads are underfunded in the state of Texas currently. And they do not see roads like 740 being done for the next 10 years. So it's very important that we keep everything in focus, and the things that we're doing today, it will be a baton pass to those that come next to us, okay? So with that being said, are there any other discussion points that you would like to make? Just as a quick reminder, the thoroughfare plan, there are two roadways that were in the thoroughfare plan. They've been there for a number of years. We knew that when the county said, hey, we'd like to potentially help expedite trying to figure out how to widen 740, we knew that this conversation would come. We knew that there were things in the thoroughfare plan, as many years ago, people had talked about how 740 could potentially go up to and connect to 550 in between two neighborhoods. So I knew that there would be anxiety. I knew that there would be frustrations. I knew that these are hard topics to be had. And I think that this council has heard the will of the people, and we're looking at the thoroughfare plan and saying, hey, let's go ahead and take those off, and then let's go to TxDOT and work with the county and let them guide us as we give them some direction. And I think that that's the direction that we're heading, and that's how all of these conversations have taken place. And I believe that all of these meetings have been very, very positive. Okay? Are there any questions or more discussion on this?
I'd like to make a statement, sir.
Very well.
Just that this is the thoroughfare plan is going to be looked at again with a lot more detail, and I think we'll see changes as we come. But we identified these two thoroughfares, these two arterials that needed to come off of that map, so we set the right tone and the same direction that the citizens and the council wanted to go. So I think this is a very, very quick process to get rid of a couple of roads that send the right message as we move forward, and I think it's a very positive thing that we got it done so quickly, and I appreciate staff for making that happen. And with that, I'm ready to make a motion.
Very good. At this time, the chair will open the floor to entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve by ordinance the requested amendment to the master thoroughfare plan.
Very good. We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Omby. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second by Councilwoman Thorogood. Do we have any further questions? If not, the motion moves. All of those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, council. Moving into agenda item 5.b. This is to conduct a public hearing and act on an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Heath amending the Land Use Chapter 159 zoning section 159.21 conditional use to allow for ambulance services as conditional use, providing a severability clause, repealer clause, and savings clause, providing an effective date, providing for publication, and finding and determining the meeting at which the ordinance is adopted was open to the public as required by law. Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor and Council. And just a quick overview of this text amendment that's coming in. In 2016, this came before the council in order to amend the code, Chapter 159 specifically, under the SF 43 district, to allow an ambulance service by a conditional use permit. That was in part from the Rockwall County Emergency Medical Services, providing services here since 2004, and they need a location to be closer to the citizens of Heath. That way they can provide services to the citizens in a much faster fashion. In 2018, that was the comprehensive plan that came forward. At that time, there were many technical corrections to the 2018 plan, and during that portion of that, the amendments to the code for the 159 had a lot of changes, some strike-throughs, some deletions, and so forth. However, in the 2018 code, how it read, it did not include ambulance services as it was approved in 2016 in the Chapter 159 under that regulation. So we're here this evening to bring this forward to you, to take a look at this once again, to essentially reestablish that. What had happened, it looked like an inadvertent staff mistake, I guess, in essence, that was not included in the 2018 draft. That was, once again, a heavy lift at that time. Don't have any really hard evidence as to why that did not happen, other than it was not in the staff's memorandum. I provided the 2016 ordinance as well as the 2018 ordinance to show those items that they were not in there. So at this point, this does require a public hearing. We did provide that in the Dallas Morning News as well as posted on the city's website. And also this did go before the Planning and Zoning Commission. They did hear this, and they are recommending approval, and staff recommends approval of this in order to put back in ambulance services allowed by a conditional use permit under the SF 43 district.
Very well. So this is simply a administrative cleanup, if you will.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
At this time, we do have a recusal. If you'd state your recusal.
Be for the next item, sir.
Very well. All right. Are there any other items, Mr. Gonzalez?
This will be a public hearing.
Yes, sir. Are there any questions for staff? Very good. At this time, 6:45, we will go into a public hearing. Any residents that would like to speak for or against this item? Going once, twice. All right, at 6:45, we will close our public hearing. And are there any further questions or discussion for the council? If there are not, then the chair will open the floor to entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve ordinance number 260526X, amending chapter 159, section 159.21C of the Heath City Code of Ordinances to allow ambulance service as conditional use in the SF-43 single-family residential district as presented.
Very good. We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Councilman Myers. The motion moves. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, council. Moving into agenda item 5.c, to conduct a public hearing and act on case number CUP 26-1 for a request from Timothy Wolf of the Rockwall County EMS Emergency Medical Services for a conditional use permit that would allow for the ambulance service on the property located at 6834 South FM 549, zoned SF43, single-family residential district, and being on 1.025 acres, situated in the East Teal Survey, abstract number 207, track 11, City of Heath, Rockwall County, Texas. Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Thank you once again, Mayor and Council. And now, this property, you're familiar with this. Once again, this is kind of a piggyback off of what we just went through. Rockwall EMS has been at this particular location on 549 for some time. And their current SUP that was approved in 2024 has expired. And so they're here in order to request the CUP once again in order to allow for the ambulance service at this location. We did provide public notice. We published this in the Dallas Morning News. We posted a sign on the property as well as mailed out 51 notices to property owners within 500 feet. And at this time, we do have 4 responses that are in favor, 2 that are opposed to the request. I do have 2 responses, 2 of those that were not in your packet that are on your desk in front of you. I received those over the weekend, and so those are there for you to review as well and take in consideration. Once again, the brief history, there is some history to this location. You've seen the history in the past on this. This was granted a 5-year term. I think that's an important element to point out at this point in May of 2016. And through iterations here, through CUPs and resolutions and so forth, what has happened here is that the facility was to bring the property up to code, essentially, in making it a commercial, I guess, so to speak, by providing screening, providing a driveway and parking area. And so they've done that here, as well as provide a patio. I'm sorry, not a patio, a covered area for their emergency service vehicles. So the site plan that was approved with this, or that has all these items here, will show you that the driveway and the parking area has been completed. That's been requested by the resolutions and the ordinances from the past, as well as the screening and landscaping components in here. And if we take a look at it from a before and after, you'll see here the differences from this. You have a caliche type on the left side. You have caliche type roadway or access way, either. Absolutely. And also here where you have a concrete now drive area with a handicap ramp. They've included a 750 square foot canopy. This houses the 2 emergency service vehicles that will be located at that location. as well as the parking area behind the facility. You've seen the upgrade here. Tremendous difference in what was there. And also the landscaping and the screening that was required by the resolution. And so all these items, the construction on the site has been taken care of. So they've put everything in place and met, and so now they are bringing this forward for the application. Once again, we did provide public notice on this, and staff did take this to the Planning and Zoning Commission as well. They're recommending approval, and staff is recommending approval of the CUP as well. Once again, this remains a discretionary decision for the City Council. Amy Ramirez is here with the EMS, Rockwall EMS, as well as Aaron Howell. And so they're here to answer any questions you may have, and staff's available for any questions that you may have as well.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. At this time, do you have any questions for staff? None? Very well. Do you have any questions for the applicant?
Point of information. I have recused myself from this item and
Correct.
have the affidavit on file.
Very well. Thank you, sir, for putting that on the record. We have the recusal notated. All right. At this time, we will go into a public hearing at 6:51. If we have any residents that would like to speak for or against this application for case number CUP 26-1. If there's no one to speak, we will close the public hearing at 6:51. And if there are no further questions, the only thing that I would like to add is thank you for all of the remediation that you've done to the building. I think it does look wonderful. I think it suits you guys well, and we're very, very proud to have you guys back in town. I was nervous when I first took office and knew that you guys had to station all the way at the Rise. And, you know, people don't think about how bad they need this service until they need this service. And what you guys do every day is you're the local heroes. And so thank you guys for doing what you do every day for this county. At this time, the chair will open the floor to entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move that we accept CUP 26-1 for the request put forward by Mr. Timothy Wolf.
Very well. We have a motion on the floor as stated. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second by Councilwoman Thorogood. We have no further questions or discussion. The motion moves. All of those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, moving into agenda item number 6. These are items for individual consideration. 6.a, discussion and consideration or action of case number SP 26-1 for the approval of a site plan requested by, I'm going to botch that up, Dufrate and Associates, Inc., for medical office buildings located on Lot 2 of the Heath Horizon MOB Edition, zoned PDLR, Planned Development District for LR, which is local retail. The land uses and generally situated at the intersection of Horizon Road and Jeff Boyd Road, City of Heath, Rockwall County. Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Once again, thank you, Mayor and Council. And this site plan that you're going to see that's coming before you, this is a more along the lines of a campus type of facility. You're going to see this in the site plan. The facility that's next door here, the Sand Knot Building, is kind of the first one that came in. So this is a continuation of that on this particular lot. And what staff does, we take a look on the site plan. We're going to take a look at the landscape. We're going to take a look at the lighting, how the ingress, egress, your circulation on this, what the building's going to look like. And we worked through that with P&Z and ARB, and they came and they took a look at at all of the plans that are associated with this. I believe you have the large hard copies here for you as well. And so all this came to those two bodies, and they're forwarding a recommendation of approval with that. But let me go through some of this with you just to show you on the site plan itself. The particular use here, once again, is a medical office building. Medical office structure is parked at 1 space per 150 square feet of the facility. The phase 1, which is this location here, this is a 20,150 square foot building. This is important to note simply because of the parking that's associated with this lot requires 134 spaces. However, when you add in the phase 2 building, this site will be underparked. And so in order to make that happen, to build the phase 2 building, the applicant is coming forward at phase 2 in the future with a shared parking agreement. And what that'll do is that will shore up the amount of parking that's required in order to make this happen. So right now, the phase 1 building does meet with the 167 parking spaces that will be laid out on the site plan, and by them requiring just 134 spaces. There is a letter in your packet as well from the owner that will provide the 9 parking spaces over on the Sand Knot building. They have in excess of 9 spaces here, and something that the P&Z and ARB is recommending is it's just some cutouts over here for walking over to the facility should this be approved, and so that meets the technical requirements for a shared parking agreement. We also take a look at the landscaping. This is over landscape, which is great, and it does meet all of the requirements of the Texas Smartscape website, where we're looking for drought-tolerant drought-tolerant landscaping and materials. They're going to provide 7 large trees, 5 ornamental trees, and an assortment of shrubs and grasses and ground cover on the site. We take a look at the photometric plan. We have the dark sky ordinance obviously in place. This site does meet the requirements of the dark sky ordinance, in that they have their fixtures are going to be shielded. They have the correct color temperature for this, and the maximum height of the poles is 20 feet, with the overall site as foot candles is meeting the 0.5 foot candle ratio that's required for that. Now the building, what you'll see here is that the materials they're using is the exact same materials that you see on the Sand Knot building. So this is where you have the thematic appearance of the building that will create that campus style feature here that's going to be adjacent to them. They're using a brick veneer and a Luder's limestone. You do have some stucco for banding elements along the top. You have some articulation in it that it creates some shadow lines and some variations within the elevations that keeps this a nice looking facility. Overall height of the building is 25 feet 6 inches. That's a whole lot lower than the maximum that they can go. They can go to 40 feet, but they are keeping that as a lower profile unit there for the entry. Staff did take this to the ARB and P&Z, and staff is providing these 6 recommendations that came from the ARB as well as the P&Z, and most notably would be the parking requirement that they bring that forward to you at the time of site plan for phase 2, and technically from the phase 2 portion of that will probably more likely be approved as an administrative site plan, because everything else is in place. The thing we're looking at is just to make sure that we do have the shared parking agreement and the 9 parking spaces we've outlined here to make sure they meet all of that requirements. And as well as, and the applicants here, they're going to shift the dumpster that's located on the western portion of that to make sure that we're alleviating any traffic conditions associated with that. So we've placed these conditions in here for you as well. And so with that in mind, this is for you to be able to either approve with conditions, obviously with the condition we have laid out, or you can deny the applicant's request. With that in mind, Mr. W. Freight is here this evening to answer any questions that you may have, and staff is available for any questions as well.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Do you have this site plan laid out on a map so we see it on a map? You can see it in
On a-
your slides.
In regards to the location, as far as,
Correct.
so there's a vicinity map. Let me see, here, let me go back to the site.
So this is to the north side of the current Sand Knot building, is that correct?
This would be on the west side, east side of the Sand Knot building. So if you take a look at the Sand Knot building here, you have Horizon Road, and Jeff Boyd is on this back side, and this portion is Jeff Boyd as well. And so this will be on the east side, making connection here to the Sand Knot building. So this is where the circulation comes in as well. So it's on the east side of the Sand Knot building.
Okay, so
And-
it's to the right, and it's
Correct.
the south side of that property. Understood.
Yep, south, yeah, southeast.
Took me a minute. Okay. All right. Now we understand where it's at.
Yes.
Okay, and then on the parking that they're missing 9 spaces, is that what you said?
So when they bring in phase 2, it will be 9 spaces short.
I'm not talking about phase 2, right now.
Right now,
Correct.
they would have all of the parking in place. They have 167 spaces, and with phase 1 requires only 134 spaces.
Okay,
When they build phase 2, that's when they'll need the 9 spaces, and that's when the shared parking agreement comes into play
understood.
for that. Yes, sir.
Okay. And they're gonna pick up those 9 additional spaces from the Sand Knot Brew?
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be tough for them to find 9 spaces at that building if you've gone over there during building hours.
Yeah. From
Extremely packed.
And from a planning standpoint, when you take a look at the site plan that was approved for the Sand Knot building, they do have 9 spaces available. And so that's how we're getting that number. That's how the applicant has determined that and was able to make that adjustment at the time that when they originally came in order to maximize the parking.
Okay. Very well. Council, do you have any questions for staff?
I have a question. It's regarding the path that was recommended, and I assume that's like is that the yellow highlighted line?
That's kind of just an area to show where that could be. I mean, there's probably several different areas where you could make that connection.
Wouldn't that take up some of the parking though?
They have sidewalk already identified. If you look on there's already sidewalk entrance and exits.
Right, so, but are we doing a path like in the middle of the parking? Like,
I don't believe that they're, I'm looking at this again, that
like, I
the,
guess that's what I thought the yellow highlighted mark maybe
That's the
represented.
additional parking.
No. the other
oh,
one
I'm sorry,
that's
you're talking about this right
That's
here.
correct,
Okay.
yes. Is that
I
not
I
what
believe that was an error on my part in
Okay.
making the highlight should have just been just right here, where they could select the 9 spaces from
Okay.
when they bring that in. They'll have an area, right here or another sidewalk. The applicant can probably answer that question better than I can, where they plan on having that walkway to be able to make that happen.
Okay, we'll have him come up next. Any other questions for staff?
Staff or applicant, I'm not sure. What is the estimated time before phase 2 begins?
I would defer to the applicant on that. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Any other questions for staff? At this time, we'll have the applicant come up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. My name is Dub Dufresne, Dufresne Associates, 2235 Ridge Road, Rockwall. Yes, to answer that question on the accessory sidewalk, do we have? Okay, right here. Where we are currently in the engineering design, so we're fine tuning everything. So there we go. So what we're looking at is extend, it's going to be a continuation from here to here where we have a BFR right here. It'll make it a good, smooth transition. Just go straight across right there.
Okay. Very good. Any other questions? Councilman Umby, did you have a question?
Yes, what is the estimated time to begin the Phase 2 construction?
Oh, that's a good question. As far as Phase 1, as soon as we can get approval, they're ready to go. As far as Phase 2, I'm going to look to Arvin, and I'm going to say probably within a year to 2 years. It'll probably depend on how quickly they fill this space here. But the goal is to get started with Phase 2 as soon as they finish Phase 1.
Is it multi-tenant or single-tenant?
It's multi-tenant, yes. And probably be the same use for Phase 2. Probably be all medical is what we're looking at right now.
Okay. Very good. Any other questions from the council?
Yes, sir.
Councilman Umby?
So are these being brought together as 2 phases combined because of the process, so you don't have to start over again? Are there other reasons for that?
Well, what we'll do on the Phase 2, most of the infrastructure will be in place.
So you'll have foundation poured and things ready for it?
Not for Phase 2.
Okay.
That will be the only element that we do not do as part of this construction project. Everything else will be in place, the sidewalk, the parking, everything will be in place. And what you'll see right there for a temporary means is probably just a grassed area. And then when we're ready to go forward with that Phase 2, we'll come forward with another site plan specifically for that building. It'll probably be very similar in style as the first one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very good. Are there any other questions for the applicant? No? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor, and you did a good job on my last name, too.
I was really close.
I saw it and I thought, "Ugh, I'm gonna really mess this one up." And I heard you were close to us, so you're right down the street. Mr. Gonzalez, if I can have you take the lectern. The only further clarifying item is going back to the PD and looking at Jeff Boyd Road and giving some historical perspective of any of that as it may pertain. And if it doesn't pertain, then we can move forward.
This facility does not pertain to Jeff Boyd Road.
Very well.
Yes, sir.
We would be referencing Site 2.
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right. If there are no further questions, council, thank you to the applicant. We're very proud of the work that's gone on over in this area and bringing the level of medical services to Heath. So at this time, the chair will open the floor to entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Yes, sir.
Move for conditional approval of the site plan and architectural concept subject to the following conditions. Number 1, compliance with the off-street parking requirements of section 159.64E for both phases. Number 2, provision of an additional 9 parking spaces within the shared parking area of the Sandhop Complex MOB lot at the time of Phase 2 construction in accordance with section 159.65. Number 3, consistent architectural materials, colors, and design elements between Phase 1 and Phase 2. Number 4, consider alternative landscaping materials that will achieve further water conservation efforts. Number 5, reorient the trash dumpster located on the western portion of the site to alleviate traffic concerns. And number 6, incorporating walking spaces or cut-throughs associated with the shared parking spaces for the site.
Very good. Great motion. Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
We have a second by Councilman Dodson. All of those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, council. Okay, moving into agenda item 6.b. This is discussion and update on the construction of the DPS stations 30 and 31. Chief Siri.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight for your consideration, I have Marcus with AGCM to provide an update on Station 30 and 31.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council, for letting us present today. So we're just going to give you a quick update of what's occurred in the past month since we've been out here. One thing that wasn't posted last presentation was we do have a established completion date projected for Station 30. We're scheduled to move equipment out on site today, but due to the rain, it just got delayed a little bit, but we will be starting some work on some clearing and grubbing out there.
Listen, I gotta tell you, that doesn't really slow you guys down much. There's been a few days.
Yeah.
There's been a few days that I was like, "Wow, they are still going at it."
Well,
Very
yeah.
impressive.
Thank you. This slide will disappear because pretty much we've managed to sustain at the GMP of 15 million. Just wanted to keep this just to let y'all know what we established the budget. But moving forward, really no need to reiterate this. A project health indicator. Budget, of course, is doing good. Schedule is slightly slipping, but we're still able to improve. We'll get into that in a little bit more detail. And quality is staying up to par and making sure that they're looking into the materials that are being installed. Here's our current schedule for Station 30 and 31. As you can see, we had a scheduled start of the 26th for 30, and then just kind of the projected outlook for the next month. Station 31, I'll get into a little bit about kind of why there's delay, but one thing is that Grossman has stepped up and created an accelerated schedule to accommodate the issues that arise out of the project. So here's an aerial from the, or is this the video? Okay. So here's a video kind of showing you kind of what's ongoing, and oh, there we go. So as y'all notice that all this select fill has been moved off the building pad, and that's kind of where our issues currently at. We spent a decent amount of time going through getting the correct proctor and material selected, and once we got it out delivered, one thing I want to compliment Grossman Design is they went above and beyond and did quality assurance to ensure that it still met the proctor. After they completed the installation, they ended up, it takes about a 3 to 4 day process. So once that installation was completed, they tested the material and it was determined that the PI didn't meet the standard. So they took it off and they were mixing it. So we're working through on making sure we can get that appropriate PI before we place it back. So that's just one thing I want to make sure that it's noted. And as well, Grossman Design, we've delayed about 2.5 to 3 weeks with this issue. But they've decided if we're not able to get our proctors up to snuff by the end of this week, they're going to go ahead and get select fill from another quarry to be able to continue on with the project. But still, there is no concern on meeting our initial deadline and meeting our contractual obligations. So just want to make that clear. And then, sorry, just real quick. Here last week they did their initial tie-ins for the fire lane. Majority of our underground's been completed, and then as well all of our fire lines are installed. So there was a little disruption to the community for a disconnect of temporary water for about 3 to 4 hours on Thursday, but we're back up and running and there shouldn't be any issues downstream. So that is kind of a run through on Station 30. Or start 31, apologies. And then Station 30, I'm gonna provided this document we're planning on starting today. And then really the other ongoing activities, just coordination with Encore and Atmos to make sure we get the appropriate service and understand where those locations are gonna be implemented so we can end up getting the correct pathways. And currently working with Public Works on a drainage channel where just some overgrowth came up, and we're just trying to figure out what the best approach is to continue with construction, but come up with some revisions for that drainage channel, and again, not to impede construction schedule or anybody downstream. And another item on the bottom left, you'll see the mock-up. We initially came through an original selection, and right now we're just trying to finalize our colors. As you can see, it all clashes, and that was the first thing Grossman stated was, we are not approving anything right now, but the only thing we did release, just so we make sure we can manage our schedule, is the metal panels for the building. We're going to keep the metal panel right here and right here. Those are going to remain. Of course, the board and batten colors are going to be revised. We're going to revise the brick, and I believe we're going to keep the stone, and I believe the top gray stone is what we're going to keep. So really, these two components are remaining. Everything else is going to be revised so we can make sure we get a more cohesive color selection, and as well kind of matching the aesthetics of all the neighborhoods, or of the neighborhood. That was some item that Chief Siri was making sure that it was expanded upon.
No amber mortar, if you will.
I'll be swapping mortar for sure.
Too soon? Is that too soon? That's not too soon.
Just one,
I always love a good inside joke. Go ahead.
just one
I
thing to make
apologize.
sure, from looking at it here, that picture, it looks black. It's not black. It's like a light, or like a dark gray.
Okay.
You do get varying color. As you can see, it looks like black here, and then at an angle it looks brown. So it's all about the way the light shines onto it.
So what color are the roof panels?
It's like a
Are they
dark
gray?
gray.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
dark gray. And then here are some renderings. Once we, I forgot to mention before, once we get the final mock-up selected, Grossman's going to provide updated renderings, which is going to entail updating the 30 and 31 drawings. So we'll make sure that those get identified and updated for the next presentation. And this is interior shots of Station 31, sorry. We're going to make sure our red matches the exact same color of the fire trucks. Just there's so many different color reds. And then this is the interior of the kitchen, and you can see in the back, and then the multimedia room, which is going to be a major upgrade for the staff. And just a quick run through on payments. Right now, we're for a design contract for Station 30, it's sitting at 93%. Construction cost for 30 is strictly just for mobilizing and insurance and bonds for roughly about 4.5% of the contract. And then Station 31, build up to 100%. The only thing pending payment is retainage, which is going to be held until we receive the building permit. And working with Lisa on just finalizing the storm shelter. I believe that's all that's out there remaining. And then construction cost sitting about 14% since last month. Basically all the underground utilities, everything except the select fill was removed from the value to make sure once it's approved, of course, we will cover that cost. That's all I had. And I also want to mention Bob Myers is here. He drove all the way down from Sherman, so we got to make sure he gets
I saw Bob.
credit for coming on by.
I saw Bob sneak in. Very good.
Any questions? Or?
Yeah, very good. Council, do you have any questions?
Chief, question for you.
Yes, sir.
Which facility will have your training room, and is that still included?
The training room is included. That's going to be at 30.
Right.
What we're desiring to get is the training structure. That will be at 31 based upon our budget.
Right. Gotcha.
Yes, sir. So that'll be behind that Station 30. Well, the pad's going to be there and everything. It's just going to, is there going to be any funds remaining once we get to the end?
Right.
Because we have some contingency built in.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great question. Thank you. Thanks again. Appreciate it. Bob, great to see you. And
Appreciate the
again,
hard work, guys.
and again, I
Great
will
job.
say, you guys stay on schedule. Don't look at any other buildings as any milestone markers. But you guys have been very impressive and very engaged, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you. Yeah, absolutely. All right, at this time, we will move into agenda item 6.c, discussion and update on current capital projects to include but not limited to the Hubbard Drive project, the Water Bridge Plan, Town Center Park project, Terry Lane Road rehabilitation, Candlelight Fire Flow, Public Works Facility, Trails, and the Street Maintenance Program. Mr. Creed.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Sorry. As you stated, it's a project update for all the projects we go over every month. The first one being Hubbard Drive. So the update on this one is they are still working on the excavation. They've done some ground stabilization. The water line crossings have been put in. Some storm has been put in, not all. We have a sewer conflict we're working on right now. I think we have the change order in with the city and the review. We get that going, and we get the sewer relocated. That it's in conflict with that, and we can move on concreting the portion that's already stabilized. If you guys have been out there, you'll see they've excavated and stabilized, subgraded these two portions. Those two photos there on the bottom left, and I'm standing at Crisp, and I can look both directions and see the construction area. And the far right is the bypass road. Again, this is the detour map. there's no changes to it as of yet because we haven't completed this portion to move up. Yes, sir.
What, I'm sorry.
The delays that we're seeing on Hubbard, does it have to do with this interceptor line?
It is not an interceptor, but there are some delays waiting on that, and also the weather is a problem.
Okay. Councilman Dodson?
Yeah, I was wondering with regard to the overall schedule of hearings. Would like the mayor's question.
We're a month behind.
How was 7 9?
Well, we're a month behind, but in general, that's not in totality, right? Because ultimately, the contract's through December.
Correct.
And we were originally talking about hopefully we can see this concluded end of August. So if you look at the Gantt chart, essentially it's pushed a month, but it's still within that window. Correct.
Correct. That's absolutely correct.
You got a lot to cover. I figured I'd help.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. And then if there's no more questions about Hubbard,
Are there any other questions for Hubbard?
They have laid some forms on the far end down there and tying in.
they have. We were getting ready to do the concrete work.
Yeah.
We do have to get past the sewer issue, and then there's some questions about how we're going to move forward with the actual operations of the concrete they're working through as well.
And the change order was presented when? You have that?
So it was previously presented, but we've had to make an adjustment to it, and Mr. Alexander should have gotten it in the afternoon. He might not have got it this afternoon, but it would not have been available to him prior to this meeting.
Okay. So soon and very soon.
Yeah, we had to redo a manhole that actually is a junction box with a manhole, so it's a pretty big enterprise what we're having to do here.
And this is a change order that can be administratively handled.
I'll leave that to the discretion of the city manager. We're probably talking in the notion around $70,000.
Oh, well, then the answer is yes. Okay. Sounds right, Lisa? It's good to have Lisa up here. All right, very good. Any other questions on Hubbard Ground?
I have a quick question. So what is the estimated total? Are we at now? Like we were at 5.4 million, right? And then we're looking at an additional $70,000 change order?
If the change order is approved, that would be in addition to the $5.4 million. Yes,
Do we
ma'am.
see anything else that could substantially increase the?
We don't. However, underground things like sewer lines and when they come in this is in direct conflict with the storm line. In other words, we're trying to put the storm line where there is a sewer line, and if you we obviously have to move the sewer line to be able to allow the storm to flow. The entire Hubbard Drive, I don't know if you've driven out there, but is going down by feet. And while you do subsurface work, it's not always possible to catch every service line and know exactly those depths. You count on the plans the best you can, but
So we could still see that number
yes,
increase?
you know what you know until you don't. Yeah.
There's contingency built into that project, I would assume.
And council may recall, there was a request to do some landscaping at this intersection, so the engineers are working on that, so that will end up being a change order.
That is a great point. That's going to come. That is not funded yet.
As it relates to the mayor's question about contingency, can you speak to that?
I don't recall if it was 5 or 10, but there is some contingency in this one. Yes, ma'am.
That face says it all, though.
It does. I apologize.
So, all right.
Okay.
Any other questions? Good. Keep them on track.
All right. The next portion of this is the City of Heath Bridge Plan. And the first item on this is the City of Heath Water Well number 1. We actually have Kimberly Horn here tonight. They would like to give this presentation about the water well. And we have Tanner Henson and Kenny Fryer that would like to come up here.
It's always great to see Kenny here.
Well, we're here to talk about water well number 1, which is just over here in Town Center Park. I'll just cut to the chase. It's good news. 700 gallons a minute. It is potable coming out of the water well, coming out of the aquifer. I mean, is we just have to dose it with some chlorine, and then it will enter the distribution system. So this the driller has been a good partner to Kimley Horn, to the city, city staff, Steve, Brian, Michael have all been great partners, very responsive. If there has been a question or anything like that come up. Tanner, got to brag on this young man. He's been down in the weeds, serving city, answering questions from the driller. He's been doing a wonderful job. And so I'm going to let Tanner take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you, Kenny. Good evening, council. So like Kenny said, water's been located. It is potable. And want to give you an update on where we sit right now, the current work that's going on, and then the work that is still planned for the future. So we had the rig down date on March 13th, so the rig is off-site, and like Kenny said, 700 gallons per minute. That equates to 1 million gallons per day of additional water supply that is expected by next summer. And that's about a 15% increase over the current water supply. For the work that has been completed, the well has been drilled to the final depth. The casing and screen have both been installed. The gravel pack was put in place around the screen to allow the water to go from the aquifer through the screen into the well. And the well has been developed. So that means that the gravel pack has been set against that screen and it is able to produce that potable water. Well development, so the little bit more detail on that well development step is that it settles that gravel pack against the screen, and then it also helps to clean the screen so that the well can produce more efficiently. Through conversations with the well driller, they stated that this is one of the most successful well developments that they've seen, just in terms of the quantity and the quality of water that they saw during the well development process. Gave a lot of confidence towards this being a great well, which we did then see come to fruition through the test pump, which I'll talk about here in a little bit.
That's because it's a Heath well.
That's correct.
That's why it's better.
There was a whole lot of prayer
Yes.
over this site.
Power of prayer. Oh, and here is a video of the well development process.
That's so awesome.
So that is before the test pump was installed. They run they run giant blowers with hoses down to introduce high pressure air into the bottom of the well, so that way it pushes the water up out of the well and then helps set that gravel pack against the screen. And I'll kick it back over to Kenny to talk about some more work that's been completed.
I've got a funny story on developing a well. One of the first ones that I was able to work on and be on site right after I graduated college. I was the only person around when the water started coming up, and I was and I noticed all the other the people working on the well had backed up, and then this loud noise came up and I got soaked. And so I learned in that moment, watch what's going on around a construction site and then do what the other people are doing.
Always watch the Roughnecks.
That's right.
Whatever the Roughnecks are doing, follow suit.
So work completed to date. The drilling rig has been demobilized. The pump test performed. And so what we did on the pump test is we had 3 different intervals at 12 hours each from 500 gallons a minute, 700 gallons a minute, to 900 gallons a minute. And what we want to see there is the aquifer, once it's pumping over the course of several hours, will tend to come to a steady water level. And that's what we really want to see. The calculation that we take from that data is called specific capacity. And so a water well in between 2 and 5 gallons per minute per foot of drawdown is considered an efficient well. This one was in the 2.3 neighborhood, so a very efficient well. Specific capacity is really just that, is an efficiency calculation. Water quality testing was performed. All water passed the state, the TCEQ primary and secondary levels, everything was below the MCLs, and water is not quite potable coming out of the ground. The water becomes potable once we dose it with chlorine, once it gets dosed with chlorine, and enters the distribution system. So ongoing work. Temporary pumping equipment is going to be installed this week. Brian, is that on site doing it right now? I got to brag on the driller on that too. Very flexible when staff came to the driller with, here's what we're wanting to do. They were flexible in accommodating that. So they've been, like I said, a good partner in this project. The permanent electrical equipment is being coordinated and ordered. Upcoming work is ongoing work at the well site itself, the disinfection site work with the chemical buildings, the injection systems, and the chemical analyzer. So, summary, construction is going well and going in a positive manner. Project is transitioning from the drill phase to the surface work phase, and then all partners. Steve, you look like you have something to say.
Kenny, I was hoping you could talk a little bit about the temperature of the water.
Sure.
And how you, chemical warrant and you guys chemical warrant are addressing.
Yes, of course. So the water coming out of the well is a little warm. It's 120 degrees. 113 degrees coming out of the ground. Not a major issue. It's a minor characteristic of the water coming out of the aquifer. We've worked with Brian and Michael. We'll meet with city staff soon to walk through a couple of options that we've developed, and it's more of an operational thing to cool that water down. So again, nothing I'm concerned or worried about. We'll be able to manage that just unique characteristic of this aquifer.
You feel like we'll have to install some sort of chiller, or will just the patterns of the water that will disperse will cool before it hits the plantings?
That's one of the options that we evaluated. Is I think the one that makes the most sense in this case is to blend it with water that's already in the elevated storage tank, and that's the best way to cool that water down.
Which was one of the original strategies.
Yeah.
So we're filling the pond with that water, right?
Yes. Not necessarily to water the grass. When it cooled down for drinking water.
Okay, very good.
So the plan all along was to blend the water, right? Sure.
Yes.
It has been the plan.
I was thinking for the irrigation phases, next year or whatever.
Right, so you're right, the temporary pump going in, and even when it's in a permanent state, we'll be pushing water into the pond to irrigate the park. Is your question, is it cooling down enough in the pond in order to irrigate the grass, or is there any concern? Is that what your question is, any concern?
Some sort of mixer like in that pond habitat.
Ducks.
Ducks?
Be a lot of ducks on that pond in the winter.
So there are ducks.
There are.
I did see a couple of ducks down there. So there is a big fountain down there that they can run that will help with the cooling. Additionally, operationally, you're going to tend to have that pond full when you're getting ready to irrigate, and then you refill after your irrigation. So you likely have a 24-hour stretch before you would have to use it again. But you do have a fountain at your availability to help oxidate that water and cool it as well. Yep.
Yep, very good. All right, any further questions?
I have a quick question.
Okay.
So is it already irrigating the lawn in the park, the city park, or when will that happen? When will we actually use that water to?
The well water? So they're installing the temporary pump this week. The temporary electrics have been put in. Once they're tied in, they have to finish up the wellhead. We got what's called the sitting block poured last week, and so you can see the wellhead sticking out of this concrete block. And so once they pull the temporary pump, which is they're literally doing it right now while we're having this meeting. They were pulling pipe out of the ground. I was talking to Mr. Councilman Dotson about that, and you can see them pulling the pipe out of the ground while they were doing it. once they get that old pipe, the old pump out, they'll put the new pump in, they'll tie it in the electrics, and now all they gotta do is finish that wellhead, and we'll start pumping water over to here. He expects to have that done by early next week, and we can start pumping water into the
That
pond.
fast. Wow.
Very good.
Well, I have so many questions, like when that water keeps spurting out and then it goes back down, why is that? Like, I'm just curious, like, it doesn't continue to flow out like that?
No,
How do you
they
control it?
caused that with air.
Oh, that's when
They
you pump
blew
the
air
air
down
out,
in there, yes.
and that's when the water
Yes.
comes out.
The development that Tanner was talking about,
Uh-huh.
that was from the air jetting that
Okay.
forced that water.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Okay.
Is it maybe warm because we've drilled the wells so extremely deep, like deeper than most wells have been drilled?
That's part of the reason.
Okay.
The Trinity in this area that's a unique characteristic of the Trinity
Oh,
here, is that
interesting.
warmer water at 120-ish degrees.
All right.
Other areas of the Trinity, like 70, 85 degrees.
Uh-huh. That's interesting. Well, good job. I'm excited.
All right, very good. If there are no further questions,
Thanks, guys.
thank you, guys. Thank you, Tanner. Kenny, always great to see you. Thank you, sir. Mr. Creed, if you could speak to the timeline for the when we go past the temporary install and we start to install the future state electrical and the pump, what timeline are we looking at for bringing the potable into chlorination and up to the tower?
So the original timeline was about spring, next spring, they expected to have, because we gotta build the chlorination building out by the water tower, as well as the permanent electrics and permanent pump install.
Is someone contracted for that currently?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it
Yes,
is C. Miller that's
Yeah,
running
they
the
have
whole
to build
project?
all that.
I just needed a good reminder.
Yep,
Okay.
it'd be in the spring, currently. Now, if they beat that timeline, they know they can beat that timeline with the pump, and they can likely beat that timeline with the building, but we're not sure we can beat that timeline
Electrical.
with the electrical.
Okay. All right, very good. Let's beat it. Let's get to the summer with that extra water. That'd be a miracle. Okay.
All right,
Moving
and they walked off pretty fast, but we're welcome to hear from them on a
wells
update
2
on the
through
design of
4.
wells 2 through 4.
What? I didn't see your slide deck.
Go for it, Tanner.
All right. So water wells 2 through 4, we are currently working on our 90% design submittal, which is going to be over to the city of Heath at the end of this week. And we've got our design review meeting then with the city June 9th. So we'll review the plans there, incorporate any final comments, and then the final design submittal will be at the end of June. So final design at the end of June, we'll roll right into bidding for the first construction package. So that'll be early July. We'll start the bidding process for that with the goal of awarding that first design package in August.
Okay, so 90% for all the wells or for well number 2?
For all the wells.
Okay.
Wells 2, 3, and 4, those are gonna be the governor's site,
Mm-hmm.
the Fulton site, and Rockwell site.
Very well. So therefore, you already know that you're blending it in those towers and or the ground storage.
Correct.
Very good. Well, that's very exciting. Okay. Council, any questions?
Will the governor's tower be built before or after that well, do we think?
So the governor's tower is up for bid right now.
Yeah.
But it'll take longer, correct?
Yes, it would take, so the drilling, as you recall, the drilling only takes a few months, and they drill, and then you have to kind of wait on the electrics and things like that. But the tower will be ongoing the entire time. It'll take the tower 12 months to put into use. And during that time, the driller will be in and out, is what we expect. After that, at some point, they will have to come back and set the final breakdown site. But we wouldn't want you. It's great that we're having all that done at the same time, but we do need the tower standing in operation before we get the well numbers.
Sure. Do you,
So that'll work out.
Tanner or Kennedy, do you guys, if you're at 90% completion on these additional wells, are you seeing any issues as far as electrical hurdles or anything else at these additional sites?
The lead times on those haven't really changed much.
Okay.
No concern though. That will delay the project, if that's where you're going with it.
Yeah. Council, please take note of everything Kenny just said.
At this time.
You know, I don't know if he's giving me Lubbock speech or if he's giving me Dallas speech. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends on where I need to be from.
That's right. All right, very good. Okay.
Born in Fort Worth.
Oh, you're a Fort Worth guy? Oh, I thought you were a Wolford guy. All right. Well, I won't hold it against you. All right. Any further questions? You guys have any future slides?
Not that
I'm aware of.
I'm going to get surprised with, I guess.
Okay. Thank you, guys. This is exciting. This is a big deal. This is a big part of our plan for future sustainability. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you, guys.
You're part of something very, very monumental. All right, Mr. Creedon.
All right, the next thing is the City of Heath 1.5 elevated tank that is currently planned to be on Governor's. That went out to bid last week. We have a pre-bid meeting on the 3rd of June and expect to open bids on June 12th. The review after that is anticipated, hopefully, to bring that to you guys for approval on the 23rd of June. And after that, we'll be ready to give the notice to proceed and move forward with the construction. I'll answer any questions. This is a 100% design. It's a landmark tower, just like kind of the one you see at Fulton. You know, they kind of just like this one here, only bigger. This is the design you see in all the cities. The only thing we haven't completely finished on this one is input on logos. If there's any thoughts, anything like that, again, if any kind of collaboration with any neighborhoods or the school or anything, we would welcome that to move forward.
Well, I believe some discussion was around reaching out to HGYC.
Yes.
For sponsorship. Right? Okay. So that would be one next step.
Yep, it is.
Okay. And then when you guys are talking about that, are you guys just simply looking for the council's general direction?
So currently, it is slated to just have what we have on the other ones. It'll have the seal in the City of Heath. If there is anything that someone would like to see differently, especially the council, we'd welcome that input and be able to get that incorporated into the design. It's not something that's hard to change. We can be pretty far in the process before that's a big deal, but I just want to keep it on your minds if you do have something.
And we can bring back some conceptual drawings.
Sure.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Sure.
Yeah. I do know that it was brought up potentially the premier outdoor lifestyle.
The tag down here on the bottom of that.
Yeah, the quadrangle.
Yep.
All right, very good. So we'll see that at a later day. Yep. Council, any questions on that item? Again, transformative, this piece. So the sooner the better. Thank you. Moving on.
Okay. The next one is the 3 million gallon ground storage tank that is still in design. We did do the 90% plan review on this one. So we're just at permitting and getting that back from TCEQ. I don't anticipate any issues. This timeline here is what we're following. With the bid and procurement, look like we're trying to go out for this on bid in August.
Is this one in the 41.5 million bond package?
So the design of this project was included, the design portion was included.
But
in
not
the
necessarily
41.5.
the construction.
That's right. You may recall that the way we set up the funding initially was to show the ground storage tank related to the Rockwall water contract,
Right.
our half of that project. Now, it could be that moves at a slower pace than this project does, which this is already designed, and we can move forward using, we don't have all the money in there for it, but we have about $4 million in that 41.5 million that could go toward a ground storage tank. So we could use that moving forward if we decide to go ahead and get this done sooner than later as we wait on the Rockwall tank to progress, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So we have some flexibility there. And of course, we're also, our intention is to apply for the Texas Water Development Board grant through the WSIG program, which you may recall, is that $1 billion pot of money for cities and water supply corporations and that sort of thing to be able to apply to and get some purely grant funding, not a loan, but grant funding. And we're working with Garver to make that application. And we'll include our water bridge plan as the application, and if we get money for that, that'll help us get.
So
this
Garver's
project
working
sooner
on
than
that
later.
currently?
Sir?
Garver's working on that currently?
Yes, the application, it will be submitted first part of July.
Okay. And the raised tower, what is the full all-in construction cost? Do you
For
recall?
the elevated,
For the 1.5, correct?
I think it's 13,
Yeah, right. The last probable cost estimate around
12.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, it was water wells and the 1.5 almost taking up.
There was the lion's share of the
The lion's share of
41.5
the-
million. We had money in there for the 380,000 flow restrictor,
Yeah.
and then about 4 million for the shared ground storage.
So this was to be engineered and then teed up and ready
Yeah.
for a second phase bond submittal.
Yeah. If we're not ready to
I just wanted to make
pursue
sure
it.
that
Oh,
everybody's-
absolutely, absolutely.
Or the grant.
What's that?
Or the grant.
Or the grant.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I guess I should state, if you wish to proceed, we could go out to bid in
Correct.
August.
Yeah.
We'll be prepared for that,
It will
but
be a shovel-ready project.
it will be shovel-ready by August, for sure.
Perfect. And then, has Garver, or in your experience, what's the timeline to hearing back on those grants? Is it a 12-month cycle? Is it longer than that?
Yeah, we would hope we would hear something back within 6 months following the application, but I do think it is later in 2027 when they have to complete the announcements.
Okay.
Correct,
So a good expectation would be a 12-month cycle
correct.
of waiting.
Yep,
Understood.
I understood that to be accurate as well.
Okay. Okay, very good. Any other questions? Please proceed.
All right. The next item is the Town Center Park. And this park is, I don't have anything to bring you guys that they're doing big anymore, which means we're getting to the end of this. So I took a bunch of pictures of what's existing out there. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it or not, but since you're city council members, I suspect you're able to walk that without having too much trouble from any of the guys. Although technically the park is closed, but it looks great right now. And so you can see these pictures. Everything is substantially complete. We're doing mostly punch list items, drainage fixes, little small touch-up things. There's not any large construction occurring anymore. Hillingwickson has demobilized their trailer. They have a small Connex box that is going away here in the next couple of weeks, and then there will be nothing in the parking lot moving forward from there. But you can see the Heath sign there on the left is your entrance. I took a picture of the pond. This is all taken this morning. The sports courts were completely surfaced, and they're done. The fence is also up around them. I think there's a little bit of latching and some adjustment on the gates. It still has to be done and things like that, but it's all up. And you can take a look at it. Obviously, you can see the lights are installed under the awnings. That they're all up. It looks really good. It looks brand new, in fact. On the upper left there is the butterfly area playground. The next picture to your right is the stage. I did throw a little picture in there of our truck being set up out here, getting ready to pull the stuff out of the well. So technically that's not part of the park, but it's in the park.
It's a new feature.
It's one of the features.
It's
That's
a
right.
kids' swing.
You see the cubox structure?
Brian, on the
Yes, sir.
amphitheater piece.
Yes, sir.
Did this cost come out with like putting light gantries and things like that up there? Do we have that in this budget at all?
So there are lights in it. Are you
Right.
talking about?
Yeah, light gantries that acts can affix things to.
Oh, no, we did not have that. We did install larger electricity at a request after the fact. We do have some 50 amp plugs that were installed with a box on the back of it to try to,
Mobile lights.
yes, to try to help with that issue.
Right.
But we did not install the studio boxes and all that.
Yeah, typically, acts can bring in stages of all sorts of size, height, whatever, along with lights and sound packages.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we have something for them to connect those risers to, right? So, okay.
There was a whole lot of trimming.
Yeah.
There
I get
was.
it. I get it.
this went through months and months of training.
Brian, one other question. Around the pond,
Mhm.
there looks to be a lot of dead grass or grass that just hasn't come on yet. Is that all being replaced, or is it just not?
So any sod that's been identified that is not coming up or not taking root or not going to, they are replacing. I know that it's been walked, and you can see various patches where they brought it up. Now, some of the areas, if you're looking out beyond that entrance that goes out into the right-of-way area where it just looks like brown dirt, that's all going to be hydro-seeded. So where you're going to end up with, and forgive me, but buffalo grass or native Texas, I can't remember the term. You don't mow it. They're supposed to come in. It'll be in that area, in the Dry Creek area, and there's many of those little areas where they have they're prepping that. We had to do a spray and then till it up, and then they're going to come back and hydro seed that. I was at one of them, but you know, and I tried to listen.
Yeah, I know.
There's definitely opportunity for our new Parks and Rec team to stay on top of this park, so we don't lose control. All right. Okay. Very good. And then as far as opening, I know that we've talked about 4th of July being the kind of grand opening of this park. When do we believe that Hill and Wilkinson will do their final walk-off?
So we're trying to schedule our final walkthrough. We talked today. Chelsea was in on the call, and we talked about doing that June 8th for the final walkthrough. And then after that, they'd like to have their punch list completed and be demobilized by June 15th.
Okay. And I don't know what the will of the council is, but I would say the sooner the better. Open the park.
Yep.
You know, put the hoops up, put the nets up, and let's open it. You know, we can still announce the 4th of July as the grand opening.
Sure.
We can open it up. People are itching, been watching this be built for a year and a half.
Thank you for that, Mayor. Just so clear, everybody's comfortable. If we have an opportunity to go ahead and put the pickleball nets up, go ahead and put everything ready to go, kind of soft open this facility before July 4th.
Council?
I know we're springing this on you.
I think that sounds fantastic.
I don't have a problem unless Chief takes his camera down out there, because I went and looked at it a while back, and two of the finest pulled up. So what are you doing?
I have a question about the park. So there was some scaling down of some of the features for cost, but there is funding through the state. Would we be eligible every year to apply to that funding and every year maybe improve upon what we were able to?
Absolutely. Texas Parks Wildlife, they do have grant programs. Matter of fact, we talked internally about applying for a grant for the Marshes Happy Haven project as soon as we get some updated construction costs for that park, as well as the Cherry Lane Trail. You know, these Parks and Wildlife grants bode well.
Just taking down voting machines, no big deal.
If you have various amenities that you're focusing on as opposed to just one thing. And so if we could have trails and playgrounds and open spaces and things like that in the grant application, those seem to get awarded more frequently than just a singular type of grant project. But to answer your question, yes, each year we have an opportunity to apply for either trail grants or shared funding grants where we put up 50%, they put up 50%.
Yeah.
But I think you pointed it out very well. Is Marshall's Happy Haven is kind of the next big thing that staff is trying to focus on, because obviously we've been granted $1.2 million, right? So we want to utilize and mobilize that as quickly as possible and see what the delta is for the overall macro design and see if the state can help us fund that. It being a all mobility park, we believe that could help dramatically, as well as the trail going up Terry Lane. We believe that to be an easier, bigger thing that we think that the grant writing could really wrap their arms around.
Yeah, I fully support that. I would love to see, let's put as much money towards Marshall's Happy Haven. I have had a few constituents ask me if in the future we might be able to have a splash pad at the park. And so my perception was, well, sure, in the future we can do all sorts of things, but I'm just curious, like, how many years in the future could we potentially add something like that?
So the original design did have a interactive area along the dry creek that had little sprinklers thing. We did have to remove that for value engineering because our project, when it first came in, I mean, we anticipated about $12 million for this park, and in the original design, the cost came back at nearly 16. So it was somewhat of a task to bring that back about $4 million, and that was one of them that suffered. There is an interactive fountain, and I don't have the picture here, that is in a little spiral at the end of Festival Street down here. That we're not going to call it a splash pad, but it's a water feature.
And the splash pad feature, I believe, was 250,000, 350,000,
Yeah,
something
so,
along those lines.
both-
So that's why I got cut out. But there has been conversations with donors to try to do something. So if people are interested, my recommendation is I always say, hey, get with the PATH board. We're happy to take any donations. The more that get behind it, the easier it'll be to add those items.
I got one question, Brian. Didn't we receive grant money from the state and we were going to use that in the park to upgrade the bathrooms?
I'll let Chelsea
We did.
respond to that.
Yeah.
All right, that is a great question. We did receive a rider grant, which is a little bit different than your standard grant through the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. And so we have completed that process and are waiting for them to release those funds. They'll reimburse them as we get started on that project. We're trying to work. Those funds were going towards both the restroom and the donor garden projects, and we finished design on the donor garden project. We're trying to still work through some design companies and firms to help us with the restroom because it's doing some structural work there. So,
And are we looking at a design build for that?
we're open to options, yes, and so we're evaluating what we.
A lot of
what we can-
remodelers that do that stuff every day.
Yes.
Save a whole lot of money, not
Great.
going for the Taj Mahal. Very good.
Yes.
Any other questions, council? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
good questions. Councilman Thurgood, were you talking about the splash pad or water feature being at Town Center, or were you talking about Marcia's Havens? Is that
I'd be happy with a splash pad anywhere.
okay? I just wanted to make sure I was clear on
I
that.
was referring to the city park, but I think
Okay.
it would be great if we have the money for it. Let's put it at Marcia's Haven.
The one that was designed was a little splash creek at the town center park. So there was one in there.
Right. The way it came in, can that be updated or upgraded
Yeah.
a little more easily?
Yeah, I think it's accessible to do that. The space has been, by the designer's words, is that it was carved out. It's still available. You can
It's
come
a more
in.
easement, so
and
to
you can
speak.
put that in.
More like
The dry creek is still there, it's just not sprinkled anymore.
I just went to a whole lot of meetings. I'm just telling you what they said.
Right.
Okay.
Second was the Heath sign from the roads blocked by a lot of cables that are supporting. Do we know what we can do, or if anything with that?
We can coordinate with Encore and see what we
Those
can
are
get
their-
done.
their lines?
It is. It's their poles and their lines. Yes, sir.
It's amazing how you put something beautiful out there, and then everybody says how beautifully ugly it is because you guys need
Yeah.
to bury the lines. And
Yes.
I'm like, you know what?
And then-
Can't we just enjoy the park for at least 10 minutes? We haven't even opened it yet.
Exactly.
But I have gotten the same feedback about can we bury lines?
And the grout was changed. That was
Yeah.
At everyone's discretion, if we choose to and we want to fund that, they can certainly bury those lines, but that will be a cost associated with that, and it's not cheap.
Sure.
And lastly, are we going to have that scheduling program before we have a soft open?
I figured you already had it set up.
We, no, it'll take some time, but working with the vendor with that software right now. And so there are elements that we can push forward. And so we're shooting for July, but anything sooner than that.
For the hard open?
For the hard opening, just for pickleball reservations, because that's going to be the ones that are going to be harder to keep up with manually.
Very good, that's all I had.
Okay, very good. All right, so are we still in agreement that we'd like to open it sooner than late? I could care less about the software. I think it's great to have all the systems in place, but when the residents see a park that's been built for a year and a half, I think everybody's ready to play.
Absolutely.
I get over to question a week.
Okay.
Yeah. So Johnny got the police coming after him. Is it regularly patrolled? Are there people eager to play? And that's not permissible at this time? Like to play at the park anywhere?
Oh, I do see people walking on the park on a regular basis.
Yeah.
There's no nets up for the pickleball courts. And so-
Chief, you've been kicking people out already?
Yes.
Okay.
I would love to see it in use ASAP.
Okay, very good. All right.
The only thing we do have to overcome here, I don't know if you can see on the bottom left down there, we had to do a change order for the drainage issues we had underneath our play area. That is how that looks this morning. So I wouldn't want anybody playing on that just yet, but we anticipate on having that wrapped up by the end of this week. And that's probably the biggest thing we have disrupted in the park right now, I think.
That did require a change order to get
It did.
taken care of. We had to add some drainage under the cubite structure. Because when it rained, it just underneath filled up with water and just held that water, didn't go anywhere. And so when you walked on that artificial turf, it was just very spongy. And so we were concerned about that. Clearly, obviously concerned about it for the kids' sakes when they get on it and play on it. So I think we've got to have that rectified.
It is. So what you see there is the drainage already been installed. I just need this place called Forever Lawn's got to come back and reinstall this play material on top. It has these little spongy bricks, and then it's like a AstroTurf that pulls over it and goes down to a composite board. I just need them to put that back, and we're done. So.
But that was about a $25,000 change order.
It was. It required a lot. Us crossing a lot of electric. We had to take out a piece of sidewalk, get all the way over to the storm. It was
I remember
extensive.
asking about this at one time.
The drainage on
But
the
I won't
cubite.
go over that. I was told it'll run off, it'll be fine. That's all right. Hey, I will say that price tag does match the work that had to be done. That work just needed to be done prior to.
Sure.
Apologies. So I was looking at this photo. You have your baseball, softball field, and I did want to provide an update. It was asked to add a scoreboard to the site, and so we have a local vendor that we're currently working with right now. They've set up some staging areas to go ahead and move forward with electrical, so that is in process as well.
Okay. And then what's the age range for this baseball field?
It's youth.
This is a
sports.
young youth
Yes.
field. Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Chelsea, while you're still there,
Yes.
did we get equipment to like drag this field with things like that? You know, how gas freaking like do that with the field. So I was wondering if we have.
We do not currently, but we are looking into getting that.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question about Mayor's comment or question. So a youth field, is that like a different size than an adult would play at?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're
All right, so it's just smaller that
Yes.
way?
multiple sizes.
But we're not prohibiting an adult from playing on it?
No.
I think it's rated for 10.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, over the years, just for those that have been out here for a long time, over the years, they used to have the daddy ball softball game out there. So even though it's a youth league size, they would still house events. So I don't know if they're bringing that back, but
Now we have a pinch to hit them.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
in the outfield.
That would have
fence,
helped me a
yes.
lot, frankly.
Yes.
I said, that's a home run. They said, no, it's not. Okay. All right, very good. Moving on.
And that is the field there on the bottom right. The only thing that we're still lacking out there, I believe, is the foul. Everything else has been. There's orange safety cap on all the fence. Oh, yellow, not orange, all the way around. Oh, sorry. All right, Terry Lane. If there's no more questions on the park. All right, Terry Lane is. This is an easy one. It's open and complete.
I don't know that. First question is, why do you guys put lines in the concrete?
So we matched the concrete that was remaining, and it was grooved.
I'm like a Facebook comment away, man. Those that chuckled do exactly that.
Appreciate it, Mayor.
That's right, bud.
If y'all haven't had a chance to drive down it, I was out there today, and it apparently drives very well. A car came flying by me. It was doing at least 60 miles an hour. So,
Chief.
and in case there's any wondering, we have a measuring device out there. I don't know when the last time it was calibrated, but it demonstrated 58 when he went by.
Oh, they do have a speed trailer out there.
So the grooving in the concrete is for when water hits, it's supposed to get more traction?
So typically, that's why they would do that. We did it to match the existing concrete. There would be some broom in concrete for that very reason, because you do have to have some very smooth concrete makes very slippery.
I just felt it important to put that on the record and make everyone aware.
Thank you, sir.
So any of you can go on Facebook and feel free to comment. All right, moving on.
All right. The Terry Lane Trail is obviously going to be the next focus on Terry Lane as the road is completed. And I've walked through all these steps already. We've already engaged with the engineering firms, walked this, got OPCCs. We did right of entries with the residents. We've got the survey done. We got a layout done. We put together all the easement documents. We've yet to procure those because we're waiting on the design to be able to show them. However, we do have a design engineer, and we expect to have that scope in the next few days.
Very good. That's exciting.
Yep.
And timeline from that moment on, if there were speculation.
I'd really hate to speculate. One of the things we do need to do is go back to the county commissioner's court and request to use the remainder of the $2 million in funds, which I think is about 450.
Yeah, it's 1.55. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
So about
so
450,000 left, and get their permission to use it toward Terry Lane. But I would guess it's going to take 60 to 90 days for design, and put it out for bid, and then we'll get you an answer in time.
Very good. Thank you. All right.
Terrific job.
Yeah.
We have had nothing but positive experiences with the residences. There's even one impact that clearly, if we're not going to stay in the ditch line or have to do any underground, is going to impact his fence. He's got a bunch of horses out there, and he has been super agreeable and said he wanted a new fence anyways.
Right.
Great. Perfect. All right. Moving on.
Additionally, I did not make a slide for the other trails. I know we were working through the McDonald agreement still, and Hubbard. Oh yes, Hubbard. And we have to go back to the park board for some more clarification on getting the trail plan changed before we bring that to you guys in that demonstration.
Yeah, I think we certainly are recommending a path forward. At the last park board meeting, the park board had some additional questions about the alignment for that trail going around the lake. You may recall that, just real quick, history behind it was this trail was supposed to go across the causeway many years ago. There's not space for that to go across the causeway, so it's wrapped around hugging the lake that's there. We have an access road we're going to use for one portion of it, and then the other piece we hope to be along the edge of the lake. We've since learned that that's not constructible, at least reasonably speaking. And so we've talked to the developer about moving that trail over to the street adjacent to that lake, that side of the lake, and they're agreeable to doing that. The park board had some questions about why it wasn't constructible. They wanted to talk directly to Rob Little, the developer. So Thursday afternoon, we'll have another park board meeting to have some further discussion along those lines. But I think what they'll hear and what they'll see is that it's just there's not enough room along the edge of the lake to build the 10-foot wide trail.
Yeah, you'd have to put a seawall, a large scale seawall on that. Yeah.
There were areas of that.
We remember what that cost. If you guys want to go back to the books, we remember what that cost at Terry Park. And it doesn't cost what it cost back then. So lots of maintenance. Yeah.
Yep, it makes it difficult. But we're going to be seeing that brought back to you guys here in the coming weeks.
Okay.
The Candlelight Fire Flow Project. This project was awarded to Hayes Construction as part of our 5-year, 2-year, 3-year plan. Keeps getting reduced, but we like it. We're moving forward with it. The Candlelight Fire Flow Project, they are mobilized and working. I took this picture this morning. They're ready to do their bores along Terry Lane. It's proceeding as normal. They've been great to work with, but they're just now getting started.
Sure.
So I don't have a whole lot to show you. So this is all we've always excavated so far as we're getting ready to do the bores along Terry.
And you guys are doing the engineering for the rest of the projects, correct?
Yes. So all the rest of them
Use some surplus.
are already under design. That's correct.
And this will all be on the opposite side of the road of the trails that are existing?
Correct. So the trail is
the
anticipated
north
to be
side.
built on the north side. Yes, sir.
Got you.
That's right.
Very good.
Yes,
It
sir.
doesn't have anything to do with this right here.
Okay.
But I keep asking, because there's some signs out about fiber optics.
Okay.
What do you know? You know anything about the new fiber optic? They've already put the lines in, now they're saying they start connecting them.
Yes. So I know that they were working in the Dar area this week, and I don't know exactly if they're doing. I think they're doing service tabs, much like we would do with the meter, where you'd come down through there and you'd run a new water main, and then I got to come back and put you on the new one to get you off the old one. Although with communications, they just abandon the old one when they're done.
Right.
And it's not a flowable thing like water, so it's not as intense. But I believe that's what they're doing. They're making the connections. They've already laid the fiber.
Yes, it's
And
already laid.
now we're going to get your customers on it.
Yeah. Well, they marked down Myers the other day, and he said that we're going to be doing water and a fiber optics. I'm like, well, I don't know about that one. But
I don't know of any water projects.
that's
Now, unless it was just part of our SUE work, in other words, our survey work for future things like that, and they were just calling in line locates, but it's not any active project for water.
okay. Because I'm like, I
No,
don't.
sir.
We hadn't discussed any of that.
No,
stuff,
sir.
so-
No, sir.
Okay. Very good.
Public Works Building.
Moving on.
This.
Just kidding.
This.
Just kidding. It's
And
nothing.
thank you, Mayor. And have a good
Nothing but
night.
jokes. I'm just here to help.
So I do want to talk about this a little bit. I do see substantial ramp up in how they're working out there. This is how the building looked as of this morning. You see they're doing interior trim right there, getting ready to install windows. And after that, brick. The shell is complete. You can see on the upper left, you can see how the drywall's all in. You see the hallway down through there. I didn't go through there and take a picture of every room. That would make my presentation very long. And I know you don't want that. And that's a picture of the bay. It's insulated, put together. And then it's an exterior picture of where that damage occurred. I know they do have some of the stuff on site ready to repair that. They don't have everything yet, but they tell me that is a one-day deal. So they'll knock that out on a Saturday and be put back. But they've already got a new door sitting on site, ready to go. So I'm cautiously hopeful as I do seem to see this really ramping up, and you actually can walk within the rooms. You can see plumbing going in, you can see wiring going in, and as they continue to close that in, hopefully we can start seeing some trim work starting to occur.
So they've allayed any concerns about interior damage?
Yeah,
It's
so
relegated
you're
just
talking
to-
about from the structural. So when it was struck by the Skytrack, they had to go and reshoot all the main beams that go across, and none of them did move. It's all focused around that door and just the purlings around that door. So they got to change that frame for the door, and the purlings going out, and all the R panels going up to the roof and surrounding that roof for 2 panels beyond it. But yeah, we did have all that shot, and none of it moved. So we're in good shape. That's if we had any luck, we used it because we haven't found it since. And I'll be happy to answer any questions concerning that.
Encore.
So Encore has everything they need from us, and we're hopeful that they can get out there. First, they told us August, but they're going to try to have it done before then. We do have a contingency plan to be able to run 110, which we'll run everything except the heat, which is not necessary right now if we need to get there.
You may recall they're building 3-phase out to this site.
Yep.
And so we executed a facility extension agreement with Encore at personal conversations with Jocelyn, our representative, to see what she can do to help move this along. I've spoken to the project manager on getting this done sooner than later. So we are pushing where we can to get them out there and get this built. But they, as Brian mentioned, their initial construction time frame was like mid-August when they put in. We communicated to them we were trying to get some substantial completion on this by the end of June. And so hopefully we'll see them move forward sooner than later.
Is the line pole still in the middle of the
They
road?
are.
It is. But at this point, I'm really focused on trying to get into those offices sooner than later. The contractor's focused on the office spaces, so we do need to get people housed in the facility as soon as possible. So that's what they are focused on. And to Brian's comment, they've worked on a plan to where we can operate with single-phase power for the time being during the summer months. Well, if it comes to pass that Encore doesn't get built until the original time.
That takes me to my next question. Admiral?
Similar situation. So I've spoken to Eva Hummel at Atmos and urged them along to get this wrapped up. She indicated to me that she thought that they would have the service installed by mid-June.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, Council?
That seems much more promising with the Atmos.
Do what?
I'm much more hopeful on the Atmos. They seem like that's always kind of been their
Sure.
timeline to be able to knock that out for us.
Okay.
And then the last thing is always on these updates is the street maintenance repair. I do not have any additional projects added to this. We've only done in-house maintenance. So, but in saying with the duties of the item, I put it in here just to tell you that these are the projects that we.
Okay. And the surplus?
The surplus remains at 126. Some of that is encumbered, and the actual surplus is around 80. In other words, I got bills I still haven't paid out of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you speak to the book? I'm sorry,
Crack seal program?
That is part of the encumbrance. I have ordered I have not bought the trailer. I have ordered the device and the drum.
Material?
Yes, the material.
Right.
And we still got to purchase a air compressor and the trailer.
Is your staff adequately trained to utilize?
I think we will be, yes, sir.
They'll teach us when they deliver.
Yeah, they will, and it's pretty easy.
Okay.
They made it that way. It doesn't require heat. Doesn't require the typical crack seal machine is a larger man process and it's somewhat dangerous. It has a big burner and gets very, very hot. Has lots of fumes. So this is a room temperature item that works off of air. Very, very different.
Is it like gray
It
colored?
is.
and
You can have gray, yes.
It'll be a nice match. Fantastic. When do you think you'll have that?
I hope to have it in the next 2 months. Everything done because I got to build the trailer. So we have to order all the parts. We got to build the trailer ourselves. They're just going to give us the crack seal component, and then we'll put it all together.
So heat of the summer, you'll test it out.
Yep.
Okay.
Fortunately.
Looking forward to that.
Okay.
Hey, Brian, could you provide a quick I'm sorry. Could you provide a quick update on the Willow Springs Bridge project?
Sure. So I don't know if I guess I didn't tell it though. Okay. So originally that was a complete replace we were going to do on Willow Springs project. We contracted, I don't know if you recall, with Creekworks. I had a whole presentation. We were going to inject yes, it was a Portland cement mixture around different areas of this and raise the road and seal that culvert from leaking. We have accomplished that. It has been going on for over a month now. It's dry. The inlet acts as it should. The road is back to grade. It's completely level with the manhole now. Now the road has not been. You can still see where the broken pieces are. We've stabilized those with a polymer compound, but it is not aesthetically pretty. But the road is. We also raised all the adjoining sidewalks around. That was a great project for us, and I would also welcome the council to go take a look at that. If you could remember how it used to be with the big asphalt patch and the hump in the middle, and We also had a lot of inundation in that inlet that's right there by the culvert. Water was coming in through the cracks of the culvert. All that has stopped. So we're very proud of that project, and it was
Were
a
we
good
going
job
to
of
do
the
some
city.
panel replacement there as well?
We would likely need some at some point. That's going to be some substantial cost to fix those aesthetic panels. There's quite a few. Right now, they are not beautiful,
Function.
but they are smooth and they are stable.
Very good. Okay.
That's it. Y'all ask all the questions during it.
All right, very good. Council, any further questions?
They might have more.
Nice job, Brian. Yeah, really
Yeah.
nice job.
Good job. Lots of work going on. Very proud of you guys and all the hard work that you and your team are doing. So keep it up. All right, very good. At this time, we'll move into the next agenda item, 6.d. We will go through discussion and action regarding a resolution appointing directors to the Club Municipal Management District. Mr. Alexander.
Mayor, City Council members, this is a fairly straightforward item. You may recall that anytime the Club Municipal Management District needs an appointment to their board, they have a 5-member board, that appointment has to be approved by the City Council. It's subject to the approval of the City Council. And so what the Municipal Management District is requesting is the reappointment of James Sachs and Alexis Lucas. And they're also asking for your approval to appoint 3 ex officio members, Melissa Bouchard, probably not going to get this one right, Tom Casquara, and Adam Clayton Quinn. Try to answer any questions you might have on this one.
Very good. Council, do you have any questions on this item? Okay. At this time, the chair will open the floor to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Mayor. I move to approve resolution number 260526A.
Very good. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second by Councilwoman Thorogood. Motion made by Councilman Ownby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, council. At this time, we'll move into 6.e, update and discussion regarding the fiscal year 2026-2027 budget development process. Mr. Ayers.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is just an overview of where we are in the FY27 budget process. On May the 12th, all departmental, operational, and CIP requests were due. Right now, we're going through the review process of all those submissions. Next week, we'll begin the internal budget reviews with department heads, so we'll be scheduling that pretty soon. Today, we're just giving you the progress update on this FY27 proposed budget. On Thursday, we'll be presenting the update as well to the finance board, and we'll update you again on the 23rd as well as the finance board on the 24th. Just to touch on some key aspects of the FY27 budget, we received our certified estimated values from Rockwall Central Appraisal District. Right now, we're sitting roughly around $4 billion in taxable assessed value. That's before the senior tax freeze is incorporated into that. Well, that's in addition with the senior tax freeze. If we take that out, we're roughly around $2.9 billion in net taxable assessed value. A slight increase from the previous, well, this current fiscal year of $2.7 billion. The property market values grew $336 million or 9% in comparison to this fiscal year. Taxable assessed value growth is $201 million or 7%. The senior tax freeze adjustment increased from roughly 949 million to, increased 135 million in comparison to this fiscal year. So that's roughly 14% increase there. Just some information we got from the North Texas Municipal Water District in regards to regional water services. Right now, where we're looking at their current increment of 9%, have us sitting around, that's the $4.50 per 1,000 gallons. That's the member rate, which is offered to the city of Rockwall. Since they're a current member, we'll have an upcharge of 15 cents under the new water contract, and that'll increase that to $4.65 per 1,000 gallons for the city of Heath.
So the importance of that chart, I remember when we did the rate study this last summer, the rate we were using to anticipate future rate increases would be green line. And so we're seeing that the actual increase is less than we anticipated. So these types of things will help us hopefully make some mitigation measures on future rate increases.
Also, too, it's a good forecast looking ahead for bringing new supply into the system to create compression on rate management, because you are on a take or pay. So,
and this is the regional wastewater service update that I received originally. The original cost was going to be $4.18 per 1,000 gallons. Right now, we're actually looking at $3.75. So, slightly lower than what was anticipated originally. This is just a breakdown, a comparison of the water and wastewater services costs. Just the total, just taking that $4.65 and multiplying it by the maximum, the take-or-pay minimum, that $983 million number you see down there at the bottom, that's sitting around $4.5 million, and then your regional wastewater and Buffalo Creek Interceptor is a little over $7 million together, which total cost of wastewater and sewer services is $11.6 million. And that's just part of, just a portion of your utility fund budget. So, and that pretty much sums up my presentation. If you have any questions or have any feedback that you'd like to give me in regards to
quick question on secondary meters. Maybe this is a question for Lisa, but on secondary water meters, I know all new developments are required to be putting in that second meter for irrigation. Have we been going back and retrofitting second meter use? I know we did the AMI single use, but we're not requiring any properties other than new properties to have the 2 meters.
Only if they're an old property that only had a single water service and they put in an irrigation system because they never had one, then they have to upgrade to the irrigation.
So the vast majority of everybody has single meter. Okay. And then if they were to request putting in a second meter for their irrigation, they would just request for a meter tap and pay the fee. Okay, very good.
Any questions?
And so we'll keep this particular agenda item on each of our meetings going forward. So that creates an opportunity for us to bring these types of items to you to give you an update of where we're at on the budget development process. Also creates an opportunity for council if you have anything you want to bring to our attention during the meeting. Of course, you're always welcome to let us know if there's things you want us focusing on. Just let me or Jay know, and we can incorporate that into this budget development process. But we just want to keep this on the agenda so we always have an opportunity as a group to talk about budget issues as we learn about them and feel like we need to bring them to your attention or give you an opportunity to talk about the budget.
And the only reason I asked about the meters is as it pertains to your winter averaging, right? So having that second meter would technically lower your potential expense load on your wastewater.
I would agree with that. I mean, people do irrigate sometimes during those winter months, whether it be on purpose or inadvertently. And so as that's going through the water meter, that domestic water meter, that's increasing that usage during those months and can increase the average.
Yeah. Okay, very good. All right. Any further questions, council?
It is to comment. Good news in that report. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah.
All really good stuff. We're living in a good time and great reporting, great opportunities. We have so much to be thankful for. If there's no further comments or questions at this time, we will adjourn at 8:30 p.m. Thank you, council.